for duty, boss.
The Witcher 4. Embark on a new saga in the legendary dark fantasy world of The Witcher. Set after the events of The Witcher 3, this installment introduces a fresh protagonist and storyline while maintaining the deep lore and morally complex world the series is known for. Built on Unreal Engine 5, the game promises massive improvements in graphics, combat fluidity, and environmental interaction. CD Projekt Red is aiming for a more immersive open world with evolving choices, revamped monster hunting mechanics, and advanced AI for both enemies and NPCs. Though Geralt's journey is over, the continent is far from safe. New alliances, ancient magic, and political chaos lie ahead.
Unreal animation framework, allowing us to fit it. Seriously, it looks...
Because of that, we can now hit 60 FPS on consoles. And finally, we rewrote the rendering. You can see how Ciri and Kelpie match up in their interaction. Well, that works no matter the angle.
Alkahest. Set in a murky medieval kingdom, Alkahest is a first-person action-adventure RPG inspired by classics like Dark Messiah, Dishonored, and Kingdom Come Deliverance. You take on the role of a petty lord's youngest son, navigating a civil war with brutal, physics-driven melee combat. The world is highly interactive. Trees can be toppled on enemies, barrels and siege tools become weapons, and environmental kills are core to gameplay. Alchemy plays a major role. Mix ingredients into potions, weapon oils, grenades, or even slip poisons into NPC pockets for stealthy takedowns. Where Winds Meet. Immerse yourself in a sprawling wuxia open-world RPG set during China's chaotic 5 Dynasties and 10 Kingdoms era. You play as a young swordmaster uncovering your destiny amid political intrigue and war. The game features fluid martial arts combat with a wide array of traditional weapons: spear, twin blades, broadsword, fan, bow, stealth elements, and mystical wuxia techniques. The world is massive, estimated approximately 20 square kilometers, and reactive with dynamic weather, realistic consequences, and deep NPC interactions across 20+ distinct regions. Arc Raiders, a high-stakes third-person extraction shooter set in a post-apocalyptic Earth overrun by hostile ARC machines. Players, called Raiders, venture onto the dangerous surface in 30-minute missions to gather loot, complete objectives, and extract alive, while fighting both AI foes and other players. The gameplay blends tactical stealth, resource management, and base-building progression within the underground hub of Speranza. It features a persistent skill tree, crafting, cross-platform play, and solo-friendly matchmaking. The development pivot from a pure PvE to PvPvE model drew attention, and recent tech tests have highlighted its polished combat and world design. Crimson Desert, a sprawling open-world action-adventure from Pearl Abyss, creators of Black Desert Online. Set in the fantasy continent of Pywell, you play as Cliff, a seasoned mercenary navigating political turmoil, brutal battles, and expansive landscapes. The Black Space engine delivers cinematic visuals, large-scale encounters, rich NPC interactions, and immersive traversal. The game will run on PS5, Xbox, PC, and macOS, focusing on single-player experience with deep narrative and combat depth. Mortal Shell 2. A standalone sequel to the brutal Souls-like original, Mortal Shell 2 is set in a grim, shattered world where you awaken dormant warrior shells, each with unique abilities and playstyles. Combat is faster and more aggressive, with an expanded arsenal that now includes ranged weapons like machine gun crossbows and shotgun-style firearms. The world is an intricately designed open space, encouraging exploration without feeling empty or disjointed. A beta is planned for early 2026 ahead of launch.
Until you fail, then what? You're no god, but neither are they.
Borderlands 4, the next major installment in Gearbox's hit looter shooter series, dives deeper into open-world design and player freedom. Set on the seamless new planet Kairos, it removes traditional level loading and introduces the summonable Digirunner vehicle and grappling hooks for fluid traversal. The campaign is non-linear and emphasizes exploration with minimal loading times. Vault Hunters return, now with more skills per character than in the previous two main games combined. Players will encounter AI navigation tools like the EchoBot drone and compass, and there's optional combat radar at launch.
Why should you get to be free? All you do is destroy. We lead a strike team to the fortress, and then we make him pay.
Subnautica 2. Embark on a breathtaking underwater survival adventure set on an alien ocean world. This sequel, built on Unreal Engine 5, introduces a co-op multiplayer mode for up to 4 players and supports crossplay between PC and Xbox. Gameplay highlights include expanded base building, new Leviathan creatures, vehicles, and a storyline involving biological adaptation and transformation. The early access version is slated for launch in 2025, with community-driven updates planned through to a full release around 2027 to 2028. Ghost of Yōtei. Return to a visually stunning, open-world Japan 300 years after Ghost of Tsushima. In this standalone sequel from Sucker Punch, you control Atsu, a female Ronin on a vengeance-driven quest against the Yōtei Six. Featuring new weaponry, including dual katanas, odachi, kusarigama, tanegashima, and stealth gear, this installment also offers a non-linear campaign inspired by Assassin's Creed Shadows, giving players freedom on mission order. The world is richly detailed with dynamic weather, auroras, realistic foliage physics, and cultural authenticity shaped by Ainu consultation.
Situ Rainu. Why do you always call me that?
It means one who is easily lost in the hunt.
Little Devil Inside returned to this stylish action-adventure RPG set in a mysterious Victorian-inspired world. You play a mercenary hired by a university professor to investigate paranormal threats, exploring quirky towns, and surviving encounters with beasts both real and supernatural. The team switched to Unreal Engine 5, and after years of silence, a new gameplay trailer reignited excitement, though the game still lacks a firm release window. Development is ongoing, with the team emphasizing core mechanics like survival, weapon upgrades, camping, cooking, and atmospheric minimal UI design that relies on visual cues. The Blood of Dawnwalker. Step into a dark fantasy narrative sandbox RPG from Rebel Wolves, led by former Witcher 3 creatives. You play as Cohen, a half-vampire grappling with dual humanity in the plague-ridden kingdom of Vale Sangora. Gameplay shifts dramatically based on day-night cycles, human by day, vampiric by night, with quests and storylines branching accordingly. Combat blends melee and magic with big choice mechanics and time-sensitive objectives. This highly anticipated title wears its inspiration from The Witcher 3 and Breath of the Wild on its sleeve, offering open-world freedom and a 30 in-game day limit for main objectives.
A Dawnwalker. Trapped between the two worlds. Fighting to even the score. Fighting to understand the evil behind it all. He is out there watching.
Pioner. Explore a post-apocalyptic Soviet-era island in this first-person action MMO built on Unreal Engine 4. You'll face off against mutants, anomalies, and rival players in an open world synchronized with real time. Day brings wildlife and hunting, night brings patrolling threats. The game emphasizes survival, faction loyalty, and meaningful player choice, with both PvE quests and PvP zones. Environmental storytelling is rich, and features like extraction-style Shadowlands missions add high-stakes tension. Recent trailers, demos, and Steam Next Fest builds have showcased its atmospheric visuals and brutal gameplay. DokeV. Step into a vibrant open-world creature-collecting action-adventure from Pearl Abyss. You'll journey across a whimsical landscape capturing DokeV, spirit-like companions inspired by Korean folklore, on foot, hoverboard, and more. What began as an MMO shifted into a single multiplayer adventure built on the Blackspace engine. While multiple trailers showcase its colorful visuals and real-time creature battles, the project has been quiet since 2021. Pearl Abyss estimates release no earlier than 2027, positioning it about 18 months after Crimson Desert's launch. Chronicles Medieval. Step into a vast medieval sandbox created by Raw Power Games and showcased at Summer Game Fest 2025. This third-person action strategy epic blends personal combat with large-scale battlefield tactics. You'll start as a lowly fighter and climb the ranks, recruiting troops, commanding armies, building and defending castles, and shaping your legacy. Finished solely by human hands, no generative AI. This vibrant and immersive medieval Europe experience launches into early access on Steam in 2026.
I shall find no peace. On this road, there is only death. But that's just my story.
Ark 2. The long-awaited sequel to Ark. Survival Evolved has faced repeated delays. Originally aiming for a late 2024 release, Studio Wildcard now targets 2025 for launch, though no firm date has been confirmed. Set on an alien world, you'll play as Santiago, voiced by Vin Diesel, continuing the storyline from Genesis Part 2. The game is a timed exclusivity on Xbox Series X and PC via Game Pass, with PlayStation versions potentially arriving later. The Duskbloods, a multiplayer-focused PvP/PvE action RPG from Software, led by Hidetaka Miyazaki, exclusively for Nintendo Switch 2. Up to 8 players assume roles as Bloodsworn, vampiric warriors competing across Gothic Victorian and steampunk arenas in events known as the Twilight of Humanity. Matches revolve around earning first blood or completing role-specific objectives via combat, avoidance, or aiding others. Features include jetpacks, double jumps, ranged weaponry, summonable companions, dynamic world events that influence gameplay, like giant looming stone faces, and persistent rewards for progression.
Close your eyes and contemplate now the moon, as befits the soon-to-depart.
I pray that you are able, carrier of blood.
Beast of Reincarnation, a dark post-apocalyptic action RPG from Game Freak, best known for Pokemon, and Publisher Fictions starring Emma, a blighted one, and her dog, Ku. Set in Japan in the year 4026, the game combines demanding Souls-like combat, emphasizing parries, timing, and technical encounters, with environmental traversal powered by Emma's plant-based abilities, like vine grappling. Developed under the working title Project Bloom and directed by Kota Furushima, it features large foes, yokai, robots, and dynamic ecosystems that can erupt mid-conflict.
西暦4026年人類は滅亡を待つのみ
Ananta, step into a rule-breaking urban open-world RPG developed by NetEase's Naked Rain studio. You play as an elite ACD agent traversing Nova City and beyond, engaging in supernatural investigations, parkour traversal, and physics-driven combat where almost every object is usable as a tool or weapon. The aesthetic blends cel-shaded anime visuals with dynamic day-night cycles and bustling cityscapes infused with minigames, cat interactions, and paranormal chaos. A recent technical test announcement confirms NetEase is preparing for larger-scale playtesting. Exodus venture into an epic sci-fi action RPG by Archetype Entertainment, composed of former BioWare veterans. You assume the role of a traveler exploring ancient celestial mysteries and navigating extreme time dilation. The longer you journey, the more time passes at home. The game features cinematic third-person shooter combat, deep player choice, companion relationships, including one voiced by Matthew McConaughey, and an expansive story woven across shifting timelines.
This place is forbidden. The price is death.
That's what it means to be a traveler.
Atomic Heart 2. Delve back into the bizarre alternate history universe of Atomic Heart, now on a global scale. You'll experience a richly detailed dystopian world powered by Unreal Engine 5, blending high-octane first-person shooting with complex RPG mechanics. Expect deeper role-playing systems such as skill trees, upgrades, and new abilities, alongside the signature polymer glove combat in both hands. The sequel expands exploration and narrative, continuing after the collapse depicted in the first game, and promising a more dynamic, open-world experience.
Maybe they will visit us, but time has not come yet for this. The dawn of a new era. The era of Atomic Heart 2.